Anzac round, so special on our footy calendar as well as in our community. The watch list is for the 7-seat Isuzu MUX. Go your own way. Lee Montagna, welcome.
Hello, Jared. Hello, Robbo.
Hello, Joey.
David King, hello.
Hello, G.
Robbo. Now, we've got a late addition to the watch list. It's such a good one that it's going to go right at the top.
What is it?
Why would Lee Montagna side with
You blokes.
Because he's such. I'm thinking because he's such a good fella.
Yeah. What's he done?
If you are going to soak up time, then
Well, that's it. Why would you rush in when you're in front?
Bloody smart ass.
And then just somewhere in the recesses of our minds.
No.
Come on, kick it.
Oh, no.
Just kick it.
Richo was pumped. Richo was pumped. I thought at the time that was footy smart. No, but it was footy smart.
Footy smart ass.
It was late in the game. We're in front. There's no need to rush.
Did you get a cook for that?
Yeah, I did. No, Richo didn't understand what I was doing, and I tried to explain. It was just a waste of time.
No,
but if I marked it, I would have taken my full 30 seconds, which you're entitled to. But because I hadn't marked it, I wasn't allowed to.
Anyway.
Get a good lawyer, Joey. Get a good lawyer, I reckon.
Jared.
Good Bernie Barmer.
All right, the watch list proper starts with Essendon's slipping standards.
Did you not snort? We're about to have a sensible conversation.
That was funny.
Look, the Bombers are a fascination, aren't they? They're the talk of the town at the moment because of how poor they've been. And whenever you look at their numbers, it reads like it's a back six issue. You know, they're easy to score against once you go inside your forward 50. They're easy to move the ball against full ground, which is the real problem. It's a full team issue, this, but it wouldn't matter who they had behind the ball. Wouldn't matter if they had Matty Scarlett and David Dench and Steve Silvani and all these guys. It just wouldn't help them. So I think when you look at the numbers, and I want to go to Devon Smith, OK, because I think Devon Smith embodies this whole discussion. 2018, he wins the best and fairest. #1 tackler in the game, #1 pressure player in the game, and gets rewarded with the best and fairest. Now, he gets that not because he kicked goals, because he only kicked 17 for the year. Not because he wins clearances, because he wasn't in the top 60 in the comp for winning clearances, and not because he kicks the ball inside 50. He wasn't in the top 80. So he's gone away from that to plays like this. He's not even in the action, but he sees the opportunity to suck the ball out of a young player's hands to be a goal scorer. Now, that is the mindset of one of your leaders. So where's that gone from being a defensive player to now just wanting to hit the scoreboard? That's a huge shift in 4 seasons. So I think they've got to absolutely start again at ground zero with their attitude and their standards, because that's just in isolation, to me, embodies everything about the Bombers at the moment. A young player who's played 11 games has the chance to kick a goal, and instead of getting behind him and saying, go through your routine, we need this one, or good luck, well done, he wants to rip the ball out of his hands and get it on his stat sheet. So you have a look a bit deeper. You say, is that too hard on one guy?
No, it's incredibly selfish play. It is.
It is.
Selfish, self-centred, thinking about himself. That's what it was. Yeah. Let's just be honest. That's what it was.
So you look at the game and you say, OK, they've got a couple of injuries in the midfield. They've got no Stringer and no Kyle Langford and these sorts of guys.
Merritt.
Yep, Merritt's not there. So you have a look and you say, OK, well, who should be carrying the can in this midfield right now? So it's the guys on the big bucks. It's the guys that you bring to your football club to set the standards. So I look at Dylan Shield and I say, righto, what are you doing to pick up the gap? And they're in this game. This is halfway through the 3rd quarter. Dylan's just been on the bench for 4 minutes. He's been on the ground for 60 seconds. So all these other players are flagging physically. Have a look at this for an effort, right? And this is what disrespect looks like on a football field. Not to the fans, to his teammates. He now leaves his fellow midfielders in a 4-on-7 on the true wing, right? Don't forget the ruckman doing the same thing, Draper, who's just walking there, coasting. They know what he's doing. But look at that. Oh, wow. Now, that is horrific. So you're asking the back 6, and I guarantee you they'll drop one of these backmen this week, because this is what Essendon do. They'll blame Zirk Thatcher or one of the lesser light names that's easy to drop. They have to fight tooth and nail to break even here, outnumbered, and they win the ball. So if I'm part of the Essendon back 6, I'm sort of half saying, hey, well done. Bloody proud of you. But up the chain, it's disgraceful play and disrespectful play, and you've got to hang this on the ace, king and queen at the place. So I hear Dyson Heppell speak, and I say, terrific, great words, awesome. But right now, the microscope goes on these two, and I'm going to watch this game on Monday, and I'm just going to watch these two. So they either respond, or you go past them. And people say, you can't go past those guys. We gave up first-round picks for those guys. We're paying them... No, you stand for something as a football club and you go past them.
The lab work is for zero. You want to take us to the Blues, who are a bit confounded in their own right, Joey?
Yeah, they are. And, I mean, it's interesting. They're 4-1 and they've had a great start to the season, and the midfield have been given a lot of plaudits, and rightly so. I mean, we've loved watching the way they've started. But underneath all that, we're just starting to see some vulnerabilities with the way they play. And basically, it's off the back of their strength. So when we take a look at their numbers, they are the #1 contested possession team in the competition. And this is why. Because they have focused so much on the contested ball and getting in the face, they're losing all sense of their shape. So look at them all hunt the football, and the opposition are now getting them on the outside. And this has got shades of Melbourne 2019 written all over it. Where Melbourne were a great contest team, but they weren't winning games because their midfielders are all getting huge numbers. They would all get close into the contest, but they were getting exposed on the outside. And look, this isn't necessarily a dig at the Blues, because you can't build everything at once. But at the moment, because they are focusing so heavily on winning contests and getting in the face of opposition, they're getting exposed on the outside. And that's why at the moment their turnover game, when we're looking at why they're getting scored against so heavily, it's not from clearances, it's in general play, it's from the turnover. So as we said there, they've been a strength in the contest and their clearance, and the mids have been getting a lot of plaudits. But on the flip side, if they don't win that ball, teams are scoring on them really easily now. So it's just, I'm sure they're looking at this internally. This is something that you've got to build layers to your game. You can't do everything at once, but this is just why at the moment they're vulnerable, and they've got away with a couple of wins in some close situations, but they need to address that. Otherwise, as the season goes on, there might be a few more losses than wins.